All right.
Hi everyone.
Back to the booth.
Back to the booth. We are a little late and a little early on some things.
Yeah.
So after Avatar set release, we have discovered, or other people have discovered, and we have liked the deck. Toph, Greatest Earthbender. Pretty theoretically a lot of damage.
Yep.
And that in kind of a Gruul aggro shell works pretty well. And the quality of Gruul aggro cards are just really up there nowadays.
Absolutely.
You have such powerful cards that just slot into the deck, and the deck kind of builds itself. You have to kind of decide how much you want to commit to the synergy, but yeah, I tested it a bit, and seems like a pretty cool deck.
Yeah.
Might be, there hasn't been a real Gruul aggro commander in a while.
For some time.
But yeah, it definitely takes that spot.
Not on the same scale as Minsc and Boo.
Yes.
Although it has some vibes, because you get the 4/4 creature and stuff like this, and you play the fast mana and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Interesting card. We wanted to show it in a focus session, and I'm here with a card that's not yet printed.
Yes.
So we're playing a couple of proxies. It's Abigale from the upcoming Lovin set. In terms of legendaries, I'm a bit disappointed because the spoilers are finished and we don't really have a single card that you would say that's it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, oh my god.
Everybody gets to play this.
We will probably think about a Lovin showdown anyways and brew with some of the fancy options. This is one of them, I think. There are a couple of Orzhov lists in the format. There's Amalia, I think, the go-to substitution for Karlov, the one that explores.
Yeah.
Then there is the 1-mana ones. How's it called? The 2/3 Death Touch from Final Fantasy.
Oh, Cecil.
Cecil, exactly.
Yeah.
And this one is basically a Orzhov mid-range deck with a couple of creatures that have like high stats but bring a disadvantage to the board. And by casting Abigale later on, you negate that disadvantage and just have a big beater.
Exactly.
So yeah, I found this to be a cool card.
Yeah.
So I was bringing something, putting something together, and
it's a card where, like, you have your commander, and it doesn't really matter what the commander does once it's resolved. You get to play it and target one of your creatures that then become a good creature, and you're not very commander reliant in the deck.
Absolutely, which can be an upside and it can be a big downside also.
Yeah.
Because the card on its own doesn't do anything. So the 99 has to carry you almost always, so yeah.
So the deck doesn't mulligan too well, but if it draws the right cards, you can start a hand with just good Orzhov cards, and you don't even need a synergy piece. If you draw it later, then that's good.
True.
Yeah.
I like the fact that I can play both flares with my commander because I have a...
That's very cool.
That's a pretty powerful interaction, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. We will decide who's going first. We will twist it up a little bit.
Exactly.
One of us is choosing...
We're doing the process that is actually like random.
This is
the ones that we were doing before. You couldn't do that at a tournament. This one you can. So wait. So I pick one.
You pick one, and I pick the second one.
You pick the second one.
Okay. I choose this. So I will start.
Yeah.
All right. We will resolve mulligans and get back. All right. We're back. If you're looking for these cool sleeves or fancy tokens that we show in our videos, head over to Alfie's Tokens and use our code for a discount. But let's get started with the matchup. I am on the play, and I will start with a Takenuma into an Inquisition of Kozilek.
You see a Ghostfire Slash, a Chain Lightning, a Legolas's Quick Reflexes, a Detective's Phoenix, a Spider-Punk, and 2 lands.
I will probably just go with the... Do I care about the Chain Lightning? Not so much. I take the Quick Reflexes.
Okay.
Then you can proceed.
I will draw, and since Chain Lightning is not an instant, I will play my land tapped and pass the turn.
Draw cards. Then I will fetch for a Scrubland, cast a Hintertorok.
That's pretty good.
Yep. So we'll have a random die roll. 1, 2, 6. First one is this, and the second one is this one.
First Fire Slice and Broadside Bomb.
That's not bad.
So you still know my hand.
Yeah, I take that. Pass the turn.
Could have discarded the Phoenix. Would have been cool. I will play the Spider-Punk with a counter.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
Pass the turn.
I'll go to combat. I'll attack for 3.
Yeah.
Then I'll play a Spring Heart Nantuko, which is not a spider but an insect.
I would like to reprieve that.
Okay. Then I'll pass the turn.
Draw a card.
Reprieve notably does not counter a spell.
That is true. Good point, because people might be wondering about that. I'm gonna have a Surveil trigger. I'm going to surveil a Godless Shrine. And then I think it's a more or less good time for the Boggart Trawler to deny your bestowing.
Yes.
Also, since you didn't find a land, it's not too shabby.
Yeah, so I'll play the Spring Heart. I will play a Verdant Catacombs. Make an insect. Fetch.
Make another one.
Make another one. And Chain Lightning the Trawler.
Okay.
And attack for 3.
Yep.
Then I'll pass the turn.
All right. Draw a card. Well, that's pretty good. I drew a Cloud.
That is pretty good, yeah.
Right. I will play the Skull Clamp and I will clamp him right away.
Yes.
Drawing 4 cards actually. And then I will pass the turn.
Okay. I'll untap. I'll draw. It is not really the card I'm looking for. Yeah, I think I'll do this pre-combat. Play another insect. I'll leave that one.
We don't have a second one, I think.
Okay. Well, one is tapped, the other is not. I will cast the Phoenix. And attack for 8.
I will exile your Phoenix.
Okay.
And take 6.
Yeah, other way. That's fine. Your turn.
Play land, pass the turn.
Okay.
So now you have 3 untapped ones.
Yes. I will draw for turn. And I think just keep up the pressure. With Arena exerted.
We have this token.
Cast Toph.
Yep.
Earthbend onto the Treetop Village. And go to combat.
Yep.
Attack with everything. So this is still tapped.
I have a Solitude. The ETB will exile the Spider-Punk.
Okay.
So you gain 3 life. And then I'm going to block the Nantuko. And this would be 7.
7?
6. I will dismember Toph.
Okay.
So I gain 3 life, I gain 3
Yeah,
damage.
You go to
so
3,
stay on 3.
and this thing is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, your turn.
All right. So you have 2 cards in hand, right?
I do.
Okay. I will equip the Solitude.
Mhm.
I will attack for 4.
Take 4.
Then I will oust your Treetop Village.
Okay.
That is the go-to removal. No, it will not return. Because Earthband says exile or dies. And oust is the only card
Yeah.
that actually works the way intended. Yeah, I think I will just proceed with playing my commander. And do not use the ability.
Why
Will
not?
I? No, I can just...
Yeah, it gives it first dragon flying.
Exactly. All right. We have the perfect token. It's birded. Go ahead.
All right. So I will untap, I will draw, and play a Sylvan Safekeeper and a Delighted Halfling.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll pass the turn.
Okay. Draw for turn. Toph costs 6, and you will draw a Treetop Village next turn, right?
Yes.
I will attack with these 2.
Take 5.
Gain 5.
Yeah.
Then I think I will play a Mother and clamp it. I think I will go further clamping my commander.
Okay.
I'll cast a Prevo Formalware.
Yeah.
I think I will target the Boggart Trawler. Since I only have 2 equipments in the deck. And the Mother is not too crazy. I'm going to exile your graveyard again.
Yep.
Then I will also equip the Boggart Trawler and pass the turn.
Okay. I will draw. I will play my Treetop Village, and I have to see how the next turn goes. Your turn.
Untap, draw. Fetch myself a snow-covered basic land.
Yeah.
This one here is okay. Then I will move to Comet
Yes.
and attack with both.
I'll block the big one
With 1 token?
with 1 token.
Okay.
And
Take 3.
3.
Again, 3 life. Oh, like this. Then I will follow up with a Rotting Regisaur.
Yeah.
And I will recast my commander.
Yeah.
To give this another token.
I'll crop rotation a Stomping Ground for Talon Gates and phase out the Reggie.
That's a good line, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, nothing I think will get me out of this.
Probably not,
now,
but if this guy has flying in addition, you're
Yeah,
losing
exactly.
10 life next turn at least. I can even pump that further. So seems to be a good line. Or, as you said, best you can do.
Yeah. All right.
Pass the turn.
That was an important draw.
Okay.
Well, no, I mean, it would have been an important situation to draw something that way.
That's this way. I see.
And yeah, because so my line would have been to crop rotation for an Igmoth Nexus, but he has blockers, so there's nothing.
Yeah,
I
and
can
also
do.
if you
I have a line
don't present anything, I would
Yeah.
just give protection from green next
Yeah.
turn and swing for lethal. Okay, let's go over to the second one.
All right.
Okay.
Back to game 2.
Yes.
We've both kept 7. I am on the play this time. Maybe that'll turn out better. I will start us off with a commercial district.
Okay.
Surveil. That card is that card fine? Yeah, I think that card's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will draw for turn. I will start us off with a Flagstones and a Give of Runes.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
I will untap. I will draw for turn. I will play an Urza Saga. Trigger. Then I will play a Nature's Law.
Okay.
Get a Tiger. Actually, no, get a Tiger and Lightning Bolt the Giver.
All right.
Your turn.
And I will draw a card. Play an Urborg and a Dowdy Voidwalker. Pass the turn.
Untap.
Yes.
Draw. Play land.
You have a trigger first.
I have a trigger first. I'll cast the Birds of Paradise and pass the turn.
Okay. Then I draw a card. Play a Starting Town. I will attack for 3.
Take 3.
And then probably play a Hex for your Birds of Paradise.
Okay.
The new Requiting Hex. Yeah. And I will follow up with a Dark Confidant.
That's pretty good.
Yep, pass turn.
I'll make a token. Untap.
Good boy.
Draw. Trigger. Yeah. So I will make
another token.
Make another token.
And this one goes into Dowdy as well.
This one goes into Dowdy. We'll get a Skull Clamp because I might be able to handle the
Maybe
Dowdy
we can put them aside with the counter. Otherwise the board will get too messy. Oh, a Skull Clamp.
Pretty bad on the board right now, but maybe I'll be able to handle the Dowdy at some point somehow.
Maybe you will.
It's always annoying when Giver or Mother is the first card that comes down, because if you have one removal spell, you have to use it on that creature. Otherwise, you'll never be able to use it again.
I feel, yeah.
And
it's better if it's Strelf or Giver than Mother, because Mother even puts you under more pressure.
Yeah.
You will pass a turn, or is there a follow-up?
I have a land.
True, you have a
Blessing Sea, and I have a Frenzied Baloth.
Oh, that's not bad.
And then I will attack with a Construct for 3 and the Frenzied Baloth. And Felix has a Solitude in hand, the way he's looking at his hand.
Do you think so? Maybe my poker face is good enough. That would be 6 damage. That's quite a lot. I think I will block here.
Okay.
Take 4 instead.
Take 5.
5, right. Yeah.
Yeah, your turn.
All right. So no additional card advantage here. I will attack. Then I will fetch for a snow-covered land. Since I'm a bit greedy and I play on thin ice, so I always have to look out for snow-covered permanent. And then I will cast a Witch Enchanter, destroying your Skull Clamp.
Yay!
Yay! And then I pass the turn.
Tap, draw. Yeah, and I think now it's time. I will play a land and cast my commander. Earthbend onto this land and attack for 8.
It has double strike, right? So I have to block it. Yeah. Then I take 4.
Yes.
Okay.
Then it's your turn.
It's a bit of a risky play. Do we have another turn? Is the question. I just want to go for the play. I have a cloud trigger. So I search for a pre-war formalware. And then I will sack the Dowdy to cast a Skullclamp.
Okay.
And clamp my cloud.
Yeah.
To draw 4 cards.
Okay.
So if I'm not mistaken, I don't have a land drop yet, right?
No.
You had your 5th. Yep. Then I will proceed with a basic land. Check your hand.
See 2 lands.
Okay. Then I will probably fatal push your.
Okay.
Well, how much is the interaction? It costs 4 from Basing See.
It costs 4 and tap.
Yeah, then I have to kill your
Toph
commander instead, right? Because otherwise I'm dead. Yep.
Well, you're also dead this way.
Why?
Because I can still Earthbend. I have 4 power.
Because of the city. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Okay. Game 3 then. We are back to the 3rd round.
Yes.
If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. We will provide more interesting content in all different ways. Mostly gameplay, I would say.
Yes, but sometimes our jokes are crazy.
The jokes are crazy? Yes,
Sometimes,
definitely. Yeah. So if you like mediocre humor, you're welcome. I will start with fetching a shadowy backstreet. And then I will pass the turn. I mean, you can draw. You can probably wait for my...
I will draw.
Decision. Oh, nice. It's on top. Of course it's on top. Well,
my play is pretty simple, but I want to see what you surveil or if you surveil.
I think I will surveil it. It's a hint to Torag.
Okay. So I've drawn my card. I will fetch for a tiger with a Bloodstained Mire as well and cast a Findhorn Elves.
Alrighty.
And it's your turn.
Okay. Draw a card. I will proceed with an Urborg and a Rot Curse Rakshasa.
Okay, so since I don't want you to use your commander on that card,
you have double bolt for that?
Arena of Glory and Bone Crusher, and then discharge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was...
Then it is your turn.
Worth playing the card, I would say. Interesting follow-up here. Still pretty cool.
Do we have Adventure?
Yes, we have here on Adventure.
Ah, okay.
It's changed a little bit. You might have seen our cool tokens. Or maybe even like that for the people. I will play a Bowmaster and get rid of your Dorg.
Yeah.
Have an Orc army, and I will pass the turn.
Okay, I will untap. I will draw.
Maybe we'll put it here.
Play a Mishra's Factory and play the Bone Crusher.
Okay.
Then it's your turn.
I will fetch.
Okay.
Messy. I go for the Scrubland instead. And Fatal Push the Bone Crusher Giant.
Okay, you take
2 damage.
2 damage.
Right.
Becomes a target of a spell.
There you go. Tick.
Yeah.
and then I will proceed to my turn.
Yes.
That's great. I will attack.
1, 2.
I'll play. Oh, sorry. Never mind.
Okay.
We go back. I play an Emperor of Bones.
Okay.
Then I move to combat, exile your Bonecrusher Giant.
Okay.
And then I will deal you 2. And then I will also cast a Skelf.
Okay.
Then it's your turn.
Draw. Not sure what I like playing here. I think I will play a Dryad Arbor. And that's forgot about that. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a little bit too much damage, and after that I can just ignore everything. Yeah. I will Ghostfire Slice the Emperor.
How many cards do you have in hand?
2.
I will sacrifice Skelf.
Okay.
Give it hexproof and indestructible.
Okay, then it's your turn.
Draw a card. I'll probably go for combat, remove the Ghostfire Slice.
Okay.
You can just and
I mean, I do play Delirium cards.
Yeah, so Delirium, and you also I had the Phoenix in mind, so the mana value counts.
Okay. Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, I get the point to exile the creature. Question is, do I? Yeah, I think I will use the ability right away.
Yeah.
So you cannot bolt him. And then I swing for 10.
I go to 7.
Then it's your turn. This one is exiled, exactly.
I will untap. Draw. That is 6. Yeah, I will play a land. And cast a Toph. Earthbend the factory. And attack with the factory.
Okay, going to 8, right?
Yep.
Right.
Then it's your turn.
No, whatever. You guys see that it's Earthbend. You did not exert the arena,
no.
Right? Okay. Is it? I think so. I will static prism your commander. Gaining 2 energy. And then I will play my commander.
Yeah.
And Abigale the Emperor.
Yeah.
And then I will, it's not lethal anyways, I would have 1 at the back, which I think is enough. You can't pressure that much.
I'll go
to attack for 6 and gain 4 life.
Yeah.
Pass the turn.
Yeah, so without the removal, I would have still been able to... Oh, wait. Do I... Oh, this is... Yeah. It's creatures without flying. But your creature has flying.
Oh, but my creature has flying.
So I can attack for 6, 7, 8, 9. And there's no bolt. So, yeah, that's game.
Okay, GG. Interesting games. I think both decks showed what they're capable of, more or less. I mean, I was happy to bring down the 2-drop here because I think this is one of the best ones.
Yeah.
You saw the Rotting Regisaur in game 1.
Yeah.
And apart from that, like those are the cards that you can play outside of your command zone because it does something from the graveyard. Even I mean, I could have thought about using the renew ability also, which was not necessary, or I was also screwed, so
yeah,
had to use my mana for better things. Okay, You will see Toph in the next
one.
matchup against another spicy deck. See you then.
See you then.